Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online. Welcome also to Nibale, the system in Solitude where I have built my Orca. I actually finished it. I tried to record a little bit about me fitting that puppy, but because I have so much junk in my item hanger, I felt like the video was really taking too long on completely useless stuff. So here it is, the Co-Ink Rock Crusher, the latest addition to my fleet, which is an Orca that I built myself. Really cool process, I enjoyed it a lot. I'm also building a third Orca at the moment in Jita, a bit more expensive, but I just felt like this was going to be a little bit easier because I just need to move this one to Iona, which is our old primary base of operation in Galente space, which we'll probably return to for the PvE content, and moving that is only like 12 jumps or something like that. Also going to be a little bit easier to fit that puppy, and that's what I did between this video and the previous one. So I did fly over with a decent amount of the fittings. The rest I bought locally, so I definitely brought over the rigs here. Large drone mining augmenter 1 and a couple of large drone mining augmenter 2s. Then also a little bit of fitting here, so thermal dissipation, EM field, and then a couple of adaptive invulnerability fields in the low slots, of course, reinforced bulkhead 2 and a damage control 2. And then for the drones, got 5 augmented mining drones and 5 hammerhead 2s. I'm actually a little bit curious because I don't have a few more faction pieces on the Orca that I'm using in detail. So we're quickly going to undock, take a quick look at this baby in action. But it should be pretty much in line with the other one. A big difference, of course, I'm mostly planning to play stuff solo, so at the moment I don't have any boosting slots in the high slots, or any boosting modules in the high slots, which would make a lot of sense and something that I could definitely do. So let's take a quick look and see if I still have some mining in Nibale. Yep, I actually do. Alright, so we'll just take one belt, head over there, let's activate all of these guys and take a quick look at the fitting from this. HP, yeah, 377,000 EHP. Not that great. We can definitely upgrade with some not too expensive faction pieces here. Maybe we can do a little bit better for one adaptive invulnerability field, just to add more raw HP. I think I do have a shield extender in the other Orca, which boosts me up to like 420,000 or something like that. So there's a bit of an improvement that I could still do here, but I think it's very respectable. I'm hoping that there won't be as big of ganking parties as what we see around Galete space and around other spaces in general Highsec, right here in the small Highsec island that is Solitude. So I'm hoping that this is going to be enough. I do think it will be enough. So let's put these drones as well into my mining section, and then these guys here can go into medium drones or something, hammerheads. That'll do nicely. And if we do show info on these augmented drones, which are pretty damn expensive, what is cool, of course, 333 cubic meters per second times 5, 1600 or something like that in general. And I like this one a lot because, of course, for general mining you have 5 mining drones. Not only that, but the belts that we fly to at the moment are compact enough that the Orca doesn't need to put itself in different positions all too often. You can basically, as you can see right here, land in the belt, get rid of the rats. So we'll take a quick look and see how the hammerheads perform compared to a few hobgoblins against these small rats. And then all you have to really do is just grab a couple of asteroids that are nearby, which means that your mining drones are not going to have a lot of travel time here either. So there we go, hammerheads out, shield resistances are up and running. Well, oof, that's full hits, so they definitely track them pretty well here. That's another one down, and then that final little Serpentis guy is already on me. firing his lasers towards my, compared to him, pretty massive Orca. And then my hammerheads caught up with him and just blew him up. Okay, very nice. So this is how I would personally, of course, use the Orca. Let's go break out the mining drones. Then I put a drone on each one here, like that. There we go. And then after one is done, we just start to evolve in a direction of my choosing, like that, slowly moving the Orca by going near one of those asteroids, and that way you can basically stay in here for quite a while. 33,000. Is that right? Ore hold? Nope, that's not right. Here we go. That's the ore hold. 187,500 cubic meters is definitely a lot more than something like a mackinaw. And the yield, it's a little bit less, right? It's a little bit less than a mackinaw that is completely built for the yield. But as I've said many times before here, the advantages, I think, make up for that. So you could boost corp members, which, I mean, I don't. Even for solo players, I think it's still worth it because you have that much more HP, you're much stronger against gangs, and you can stay in the belt for a much longer time. So the current belt setup for the Orca is really perfect, because all you need to do is make a couple of bookmarks, warp to that, and you're right in the belt next to the asteroids. And with 5 mining drones on 5 different asteroids, you have plenty of time to slowly position your Orca in the right direction that you want, depending on which way you would want to mine, right? You could mine out in this direction, or I could mine out in this direction, and then just slowly keep up with the drones and the asteroids that they are completing. Trying to keep everything within at least 2 kilometers is probably the best way to go. So I like this. I definitely think that the Orca is the go-to ship at the moment when it comes to ore mining, and this is pretty much the way I would do it. And as I've said, I have one available in Solitude, one in Tital, and the one for Yona is also up and running. Now, why I don't like this, so let's bring everybody in here. For ice belts, I'll quickly warp to one. There are 2 reasons. I quickly did the comparison when I was fitting the ship, and it's not as good as a mackinaw, just for one Orca with 1 ice harvesting drone. But the biggest disadvantage, just look at my position here compared to the ores that I want to mine, right? I'm right in the middle of that. There's plenty of choice, plenty of ways for me to slowly move my Orca depending on what my mining drones are doing. You don't have that option in an ice belt. And let's get out there. Another disadvantage, right? It's pretty damn slow to warp, which is why I don't think I'll be using the Orca for ice mining. Someone said, well, you can just bookmark the ice asteroids and then, you know, do it that way, limit your travel time in the Orca without going to warp that way. But just see how slow I am, how slow I was to turn, slow I am in warp. So just all of that is going to create quite a bit more hassle, and on top of that, the mackinaw is actually decently more performing than the Orca when it comes to ice mining. So let's get out here. We can see that there's a couple mackinaws in here. You know, people are not bringing Orcas to these belts, but they're bringing mackinaws to these belts. And now here I land, and this guy is being mined. It's at 16 kilometers. This guy is at 14 kilometers, and then you've got a few other ones. I mean, sure, I could bookmark, but then even this one from this one is still going to be 8-9 kilometers. It's a lot of travel time for your drones to actually do that, and it's just really not very efficient. So I may actually bookmark this location. Okay, let's do that. Then let's dock in the station. Where did I add that bookmark? Corporate signatures, yes. And so we'll quickly jump in the mackinaw that I am going to keep for the ice mining, because it is a hell of a lot better. And that is one thing that I was looking forward to trying. I thought maybe And the Orca could still be really good for ice mining as well, and so I could get rid of all of the other mining ships and stay with only the Orca. It's one of the ways that I do like to play EVE Online, is basically try to create an all-in-one ship for several purposes that I could do at the same time, but it's not going to work out. The Orca is going to be exclusively used for mining ores, and then we'll jump to a mackinaw when it comes to the ice mining itself. So I'll show you guys why once we are docked. Ship does look really good though. And was there a new effect for changing the skins? Let's take a look at that. I do have the Nox Rush skin. Oh yeah, look at that. It is a new effect. Let's do it again, a bit closer. Ah, that's nice. That's very nice. Of course, we are going to go with the skinned version. I definitely prefer this one. Let's dock up. And with this, still could do a little bit of upgrading, as I've said, with boosting high slots. But for now, the Solitude Orca is ready to perform when needed.
Docking permission requested.
I would like to dock, please. Please.
Docking permission
Aura.
requested.
Setting course to docking perimeter. It's not that we're not in range. Or do we have to be with it at 0? Finally. Thank you very much for allowing me back inside the station. And I'll quickly show you guys what happens when it comes to the ice mining drone. Do I still have it hanging around here somewhere? Yeah, I do have an augmented ice harvesting drone here, which I brought over from Detal to check it all out. So if I put this one in the drone bay and then I press show info on this one, we can see that we have an activation time of 46 seconds. So every 46 seconds in the Orca, this ice mining drone is going to bring in an ice belt. And you do have 185,000 cubic meters, so up to 185 of these ice chunks. But I don't think that there are that many many rocks out there in space that have that much, especially that will be left alone for long enough. So again, I still think that the Orca would have to do a lot of traveling within those ice belts and will not be as efficient as the mackinaw, which we're going to go in now. So here's then the mackinaw, and if we go at this guy's fitting, we already have so full ice harvester upgrades right here. This one only takes 80 seconds cycle time for a single ice harvester. You have 2 of them, which means that every 40 seconds on average you'll get an ice block, which is already better than the Orca. But on top of that, of course, you can also, if you want to, then you're flying completely defenseless though, but you can also add an ice mining drone to the mackinaw, which will add you 1 ice block extra every 189 seconds. And so I definitely think that this is a lot better for ice harvesting, and that I will not switch to the Orca for that purpose. But there you go guys, that's going to be it for this video. The Solitude Orca is up and running, and my next phase is actually going to be to try and get some nice mission ships in my 3 bases of operations, which are going to be rattlesnakes. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.